My name, of course, is Tim Holmes, and I'm an author of children's books. And very excited to be beginning doing this. This is my second live stream ever. And I'm looking forward to having a little bit of fun with you tonight. Now, of course, some of you will know that I'm, of course, the author of three children's books, uh, Peanut Butter and Dragon, and Splashfin Toothy Grin. And my newest one is The Reno Buzz. Now, these stories were all originally bedtime stories that I created for my sons, Malcolm and Cooper. And they, of course, have accelerated me into this entire author life and having an absolute blast going to classrooms and birthday parties and scouts and guides troops and exciting children, inspiring them, and celebrating their creativity. One of the ways that I do that is on my website at timholmes.com. That's TIMMHOLMES, timholmes.com. There is a free downloads section for lots of great creative activities. So all the kids and even the adults can get in on the action, have a little what I call edutainment. So they can download those worksheets and crafts for free, and they can build their own stories. I'd love to see the results of those stories. If you guys download those and create stories, share them with me. And what we'll do is I'll make those stories a part of future story times here at Tim Wright's Facebook page here. So the other thing I often do is something called Start a Story Workshop. Now, Start a Story Workshop is like a group story building activity where we all get together, share our ideas, vote for our favorites. There's even a couple of art breaks, and we create stories together as a group. We do this in classrooms. We do it at Scouts and Guides troops. It was regularly happening at Indigo Pinecrest. And so now I decided in this story time, these are the stories I want to share. I want to share the stories from all the young authors and storytellers I've had the absolute pleasure to work with over the last couple of years. And one such group actually had a few of my Start a Story workshops will actually create limited edition books. And those are the books we're playing with this evening. So one such group was in Renfrew, and it was a kindergarten class. And they created this lovely tale, which we'll be reading tonight, and it's called Mr. Blueberry's Secret Machine. And of course, they get their book with a little limited edition stamp, the cover art done. They get their author photo on the back. You got the whole class there, and they get their story that they created and that I told to them at the end of the workshop throughout the book. But what's missing? The art. We've got our art pages blank on purpose with these limited edition books because I want the children's creativity to continue. I want them to be able to add art in whatever way they like, whether it is drawing right in the book, painting something and taping it in. I even had a father and son do a build Lego scenes for every page and take photographs and tape those in. So you can do it in whatever medium you like. But what I really want to celebrate tonight is the fact that children age 4 and 5, they wrote this story. They shared their ideas. We put it together as a group. And it's a really sweet and funny tale. And I can't wait to share with you. We're going to read this. Afterwards, I'm going to hang out for a little bit. If anybody wants to ask me any questions or give me any feedback, let me know what your favorite part of this story was. But hang out afterwards, because even though we're staying home and staying safe, I think I have a way for all of us to get together next week and build stories together. And hang on for those details at the end. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Blueberry's Secret Machine. Now, because there are no pictures, I'm actually going to be holding it like this. So use your imagination, your very biggest tool that you have. You can even close your eyes and imagine what all the pages and art would look like. Or you can stare at me with my big goofy face and enjoy the story that way, whatever way you're more comfortable with. So Mr. Blueberry's Secret Machine begins this way. Henry lived on a farm with his mom, dad, and his pet chicken, Mr. Blueberry. Their farm grew strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. Mr. Blueberry loved the blueberries. He ate so many of them, so often, that his feathers had been permanently stained a very delicious shade of blue. Now, when the news on the television reported that the large, powerful tornado Ava was headed in the direction of the farm, Henry and his family headed for their underground shelter. His mom grabbed the cat, his dad grabbed the radio, and Henry ran outside to grab Mr. Blueberry. Henry went into the chicken coop, but he couldn't find Mr. Blueberry anywhere. So Henry checked inside the barn, and he heard strange sounds. Clank, whiz, zip, bump, 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 bump. Henry saw a wooden door in the ground that he hadn't seen before. He lifted the door open, and he couldn't believe what he saw. Mr. Blueberry was working in a secret under-barn laboratory. You'll have to explain this later, Mr. Blueberry, Henry said. A tornado is coming, and we have to get to the shelter. Mr. Blueberry, the chicken, had a different idea. He unrolled some blueprints, pointed with one chicken wing, and said, "Wah-wah!" Is that a tornado-eating machine? Asked Henry. Mr. Blueberry pecked the blueprints peck, to say yes. There was no time to waste. They needed parts. Using drills, wrenches, and screwdrivers, they took apart 2 tractors. Using a chainsaw, Mr. Blueberry took apart the barn. Henry ran inside the house and unscrewed every light bulb. He even brought out the Christmas lights. When they were done, there was a very tall machine where the barn had once been. The cows complained, moo, moo. The rain, thunder, and lightning went shh, boom, flash. Ava the tornado was getting closer. The lightning helped power the machine, but only half the lights came on. They needed more energy. Mr. Blueberry handed Henry a pile of extension cords. Henry plugged the cords into outlets all over the house. Mr. Blueberry plugged the other ends into the machine, and all the lights lit up. Mr. Blueberry pressed the giant red button, boom, and the machine began to work just in time. Ava had arrived at the farm. The tornado-eating machine sucked Ava in, and the walls inside the machine squished Ava flat. The chainsaws inside the machine chopped up the tornado into little bits. The rain, thunder, and lightning went drip, rumble, blink. Henry and his family, they were safe. Ava had caused a lot of damage, though, including starting a few fires nearby. So Mr. Blueberry pressed the big blue button on the machine, and a large metal tube came out of the side of the machine. And using the power of the tornado, the machine shot snowballs from the tube and put the fires out. That was awesome, hollered Henry happily. But, Mr. Blueberry, what's the big green button for? Mr. Blueberry pulled out 2 paper cups, and he pressed the big green button. And the machine filled the paper cups with shaved ice and blueberry syrup. Snow cones to celebrate their success. The end. How was that? Did you guys enjoy that? This, again, was written by a group of kindergarten children, a whole classroom of them, and they all shared their ideas very bravely, and they all tried their best to combine their ideas, and we worked together to build this story. And they made sure that I had the resources to create a special edition book for them. And I made one for every child in that workshop, and I kept one for a souvenir because I like their story very much. With these books, we've done about 20 of these special edition books so far, and it's been an absolute blast. Now, if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask me, if you want to tell me about your favorite part of that story, I'm here to answer that in the comments section. I'll hang out for a little bit. But I did promise at the beginning I would tell you my secret plan to make stories with all of you starting next Sunday. Now, I want you not to forget that we do have the free downloads, the activities that take place. You can download those worksheets and crafts for free from timhomes.com. and the download section, and you'll be able to create stories. And I hope that you share them with me, because if you do, and you want me to share it with the whole world, I'll do that too. I'll make sure to share your wonderful creation, just like I've shared this kindergarten class's creation. I'll share it with everybody who pops on for story time in a future episode. Now, if you enjoyed our time together, and this especially is for the moms and dads in the room, if you guys enjoyed our time together, please support my efforts by doing one of two things. One, the easiest thing ever, tell 3 people you know about me. I would love to make sure that more and more people get to be a part of this story time every night, and maybe even get to create stories with us next week. But tell 3 people that don't know about me exactly what I'm doing and where my books came from and what we're all doing here. The other thing you can do is you can actually head to timholmes.com, click on the menu, and go to the bookshop. And you can actually pick up a signed copy of my brand new book, The Reno Buzz, or if you haven't got them yet, Splashman Tooth Again, or Peanut Butter and Dragon. And you can tell me exactly how you would like me to autograph them, and I'll get them mailed out to you. Now, who's got a fantastic question for me? Has anybody got a favorite part of Mr. Blueberry? I see a lot of you making comments. Some of you thought it was an amazing story. And it is, isn't it? I have a couple of adults. So if there's any children listening, listen to this. What an amazing story. Great story. We loved it. These are moms and dads. These are adults who think this story is amazing, and children wrote it. How neat is that? So again, I would love to join you Sunday at 10 a.m. We're going to do Facebook Live, and we'll do it just like this. And I will walk you guys through part 1 of 3. And that part 1 on Sunday at 10 a.m. will be working together to put your ideas on paper, whether with words or with pictures, whatever is easier for you. And we'll put your ideas together on Sunday morning, and we'll begin building our very own book. And then when we'll be able to get back together later in the week, and we'll be able to organize all those ideas. And then one more time later next week, we'll get together and we'll have different ideas about how to create art for your story that you've organized. And hopefully next Saturday, I'm hoping that there will be a finished book or 2 to be able to share during our story time. What do you guys think? Is that a good idea? Oh, see, even more people thought it was such a fun story. More people loved it. I'm so, so happy. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to disappear. And it's actually a little close to story time for my own boys, Malcolm and Cooper. They really do love a good story too. So I'll bid you adieu. And the next time we're doing story time this week, I'll see you guys all on April Fool's Day, and I'll have a very silly story about some burritos and some aliens. Yes, that's going to come up on Wednesday night, April 1st. It's going to be 7 p.m. again. Sleep well. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Thanks so much for being a part of this. Have a good night.